Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of attributes of quadratic function graphs. This is standard A.7A in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 1 off the 2022 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a quadratic graph function of r, and we need to find the best answer choice that represents the intercepts. All right, so what do we know about the intercepts? Well, the intercepts are where the graph, either intercepts the x-axis or the y-axis. Now, here's the funny thing, is the x-intercept has two other names that we need to kind of keep our eyes open for. So sometimes they will be called the x-intercept, which they are in this particular problem. Sometimes they're called the zeros. Sometimes they're called the solutions. And the reason they're called that is because the question is, well, what if f of x equals 0, what is the x value that makes that 0, that f of x, being graphed on the y-axis there? So when y equals 0 or f of x equals 0, then you're right there, you're on your x-axis. That's why they're called the zeros or the solutions sometimes. So where does this graph cross the x-axis? This is a typical graph. It has two x-intercepts. Most typical graphs have two. So it looks like I've got a -10. Looks like that is a 2. Okay, so we can say our x-intercepts or our zeros or our solutions are going to be, and then I've got 2. I've got that 2, and then I've also got that -10. Now, I'm just listing the x-coordinate of the x-intercepts. We know that the y-coordinate of those are going to be 0, but if you look at our answer solutions, they go ahead and give you the full coordinate. So let's just go ahead and put that there. So I've got 2, 0, and then I've got -10, 0. Now, like I said, most graphs, most parabolas have two x-intercepts. Sometimes they'll have only one if the vertex happens to be right on the line. So either it's kind of facing up like this and it's sitting right on the line, or it's facing down like this and it's sitting right on the line. Sometimes it might have 0 if it just is facing up and the vertex is above the line, or vice versa, like this. But most of the time you're going to get 2 just like we have here. All right, so we've got x-intercepts of 2, 0 and -10, 0. And so it looks like, we've only got this one answer right here, right? So this A and C only show one x-intercept. And really what they're doing is they're showing the y-intercept. They just have it flipped. Take a look at B. It's got the wrong values, right? This is your x value. This is your y value. They're the right numbers, 2 and -10. But 0, -10 is down here. And then 0, 2 is right here. So they literally just swap the x and y coordinates. Now, the x-intercept has got 3 different names that we need to keep up with. X-intercept, 0, and solution. The y-intercept, just one. The y-intercept. Don't know why it only has one name and the other has 2 names extra other than the x-intercept. So let's see where this y-intercept crosses. Here's our y-axis. So this graph intercepts or crosses the y-axis. Looks like it's right there between -4 and -6. We're skip counting, so it looks like it's -5. And once again, you could just give the y-coordinate, because we know that the y-intercept has an x-coordinate of 0, -5, or as we see in our answer selections here, they give the full coordinate pair. So it's an x of 0, a y of -5. And yeah, we've got that right there. And even if we didn't get it the x-intercepts correct, that's the only one that actually has the y-intercepts correct. This, they have it flipped, and they put the y-coordinate in the x place and so on. So our answer here is D.